that is as far as the war is concerned. I'm running very fast. If I'm missing anything, not elaborating enough, please ask me any questions you want to clarify afterwards. Now I am coming to the main issue. Main issue faced by all of you. Situation in the country. The situation in the country, you know, the country is in a predicament. Country is indebted, unable to pay the loans. Then country declared bankrupt. Then people, their life has become very volatile. We don't see light at the end of the tunnel. We are groping in the dark at the moment. Then we are living in an underdeveloped country, which was gradually wearing off for the last 75 years. Quality of life has been degrading, but regularly during the last 35 years. Country was not destroyed by the economists, the country was destroyed by the politicians. I don't blame the economists for economically destroying the country. Let's see the root causes from out here. To start with, I think the number one of the root causes is corruption by the politicians, which has engulfed the country. Corruption by the politicians. Then inefficiency, lethargy of the politicians who had no vision to develop the country. And similar attitude of the government servants, which are closely followed by corrupt dealers in this country. These are the main reasons for the country to end up in this situation by this time. Then next on to the corrupt political culture. We are speaking about corrupt political culture based on the relief assistance. You have to 7% of the population of this country who are called poor population. Although the various information given by experts say poverty like this, that and all that, I believe about 30% of our people are poor. I am referring to the people who are on motorcycles, who are in three-wheelers. They are basically having a lot of hardship, just managing to survive under very bad conditions. So, the corrupt political culture has ruined their life. Then people still want to rely on the politicians. They want to go and pick the politicians to get a job for their child, to get a school for the child. People have a bit of still going behind politicians. People don't bother to find out the background and the real character of the politicians when it comes to voting. So this is the final outcome of the corrupt political culture in this country. Then failure as a nation to save democracy, constitution, parliament, people's representative from the corrupt politicians, corrupt government servants, and corrupt dealers. We are failed as a nation, and therefore we are facing this music today. Then coming on to economy, I have no economist. As much as you all are, I think only about 99% here are no military people, but you all understood what I was talking. Therefore, although I have no economist, I understand little bit what the economists are talking. And I have no economists, but I have a general idea about the economics and the economists and what the government has to do in a situation like this. I have a general idea. Economy and economists are mostly about from what we hear, what we see. I have not learned from book, see what I heard and what I see in this time throughout this period. They talk about per capita income, they talk about GDP, they talk about borrowings, they talk about borrowing limits, then they talk about interest rates, they talk about sovereign bonds, treasury bills, then they talk about remittances, they talk about tourism and foreign exchange, then they talk about foreign exchange and foreign exchange reserves and gold reserves, money printing, taxes and tax concession, production, investment, and also privatization. These are things what we hear. I think this is all about what the economy is evolved and economy is focusing about. And in addition to above, our economists are also familiar with facts and figures. They are familiar with rules and regulations, and they are also they know from where to borrow the money. There is a difference between a normal citizen and economist, I think. You all don't know anything to do with those things, those aspects. Nowadays, they also talk about IMF, then they talk about debt restructure, then they also talk about optimization of internal debt. So these are the things what we hear from morning to evening these days. Of course, what the economists do, basically what they do is gambling or meddling with the available assets and available money in the country. That is what they do. They are very good in that. They will recommend various ways of shifting from here, shifting from there. The same thing what you do at home when it comes to economical issues at home. When you are trying to budget your home budget, these are the same things what you do. But bolstering the country's economy and developing the country and finding the foreign exchange and developing the infrastructure, all that falls into the hands of the politicians. And that is where they have failed all the way along. Last 20 years or so, in that aspect, our politicians have failed. So from my perspective, these are how a future government must work towards boosting the economy of this country. You have to boost the economy in this country. From my perspective, it does not mean that I am going to contest for anything and I am going to be the head of the state or something. Don't take me amiss. This is my perspective. This is the way I think the country has to go forward. We have to work based on the priorities. There are a lot of lapses and shortcomings. Everything is in a mess in this country. So we won't be able to try and put everything in line in one go. So we'll have to think on the priorities and start working on the priorities. I think we have foreign exchange crisis. Foreign exchange is the biggest crisis. So therefore, government must come forward to sponsor the production and exports in this country. Government must not do this. They must sponsor it. They might, even if they have to pocket out some money from the government forward, they must consider it not as a loan, but consider it as an investment for the future, for the development of the economy of this country. Then also government must sponsor to develop the infrastructure, to develop the tourism in this country. Our infrastructure for tourism is, I think, comparatively very small country. Even in a country like Maldives, we are not going to improve the infrastructure here. We are already taking tourists around to show the waves. Otherwise, we show them the beaches and ask them to sea park. Otherwise, we will take them to Yala and River to show them the wildlife. That you already have been doing. We have not taken any trouble in developing infrastructure for the tourists. And in addition to that, to improve the foreign exchange, government must take some interest ensuring the security and also ensuring the dignity, giving them a recognition for workers, people who are working abroad. Or as for abroad, they definitely need more recognition because they are sending a lot of money, remittances are coming. So improving on these three aspects, I think if we do it, handle it properly, our foreign exchange issues will be taken care of to a certain extent. Then, on the other side, government must give priority again for agriculture, because we have a huge food issue here. Our people are starving, they are malnutrition in the country. So government must take your helping hand to sponsor the agriculture. Even they will have to think of developing and improving our irrigation system, then fisheries, then livestock farming. By improving these things, government must aim at giving people free meals for all the people in this country. Free meals at an affordable cost, at a cheaper cost. That should be given, considered as priority. Then, possible to improve the health in this country, health services, and improve the education. We must invest on that so that we will maintain, keep the standard, international standard in the health sector and education sector. That should be priority. And you have become half his speech, he was concentrating on the education of the future generation. Then I have realized we are spending too much money on fuel in this country. Even during the crisis period, we could see the queues all over because we have got used to the habit of running our private transport, spending a lot of money in government-wise and also private-wise. We are spending and wasting a lot of money on transport. We must do everything possible to develop the private transport, public transport. It must be developed to a stage where it's just even like this. Most of you would have used the public transport and come here in the developed country. But today I know about at least 100 vehicles would have moved to this place. So therefore, improving public transport will only save the budget and so, and it will also do a lot of saving for the country's purpose. So improving public transport should be given priority. Then government must look for investors to develop the infrastructure for tourists to come here. There are rich tourists in the world. The tourists who come to our country are basically the poor tourists. Even these days here, there are a whole lot of tourists going to Pasar. They are all backpackers. They don't waste a lot of money when they come here. Travel by bus, walk miles and miles, and everything free. Eat a one or two, and manage look around the country and go back. I have heard that the Chinese, especially the Chinese tourists, 80% of the Chinese tourists who are rich, they go to Maldives. Only about 12% come here. Those who come here are the people who are looking for the cats and the frogs and the snakes and various people. But the rich tourists who go to Maldives, they take lots of money and go. So you can imagine what is wrong with us. What has Maldives got? What have we got? So definitely we have to think on this line, develop the infrastructure to attract the rich tourists. So that means we have to, I am not going to try and go beyond the limits, talk about prostitutes or ganja or anything. But definitely to attract rich tourists, because when they come here, they want to have some fun. So casinos, nightclubs, those things will have to come by way of investors. And also I think when a tourist comes here, we must have a nice attractive package for him. Not only go to see the ruins and go to the beach, or go to see and go and stay in a hotel, then go to Yala. To take them around in a nicely organized package, we have to develop things like cable cars, even maybe a Disney World. There are investors who can come and put up those things. If you have cable car system coming from our country going towards Mayangan or something to Batikro, then we have a beautiful package for the tourists that cover within a period of about 2 weeks. Then there will be a lot of attractions there. So we have to think on these lines. But today we see people in the tourist ministry, they go and hold balancing ticket matches and all that. They will see the balance and come here and waste their time. So these areas we have to think about, and these are important areas. Then I am coming on to few other aspects. Privatization. We can talk about privatization, but we must ensure that we don't sell the profit-making entrepreneurs. Privatization is something else, but trying to sell them off to repay back our debts is not the correct line of thinking. So privatization has to be done, but not with the profit-making entrepreneurs. Then develop industries, definitely. We have to find investors to develop industries in order to cut down on the imports. We have to develop industries locally with the local investors, foreign investors, in order to cut down on the imports to the country. Then I will come up with few other points. I think I went very far. I hope I have been able to make this clear to you. Few other very important points, not talking only about economy. You all know that this country is a beautiful country. You can look around and compare this country with other countries. You take Bangladesh, two-thirds of the Bangladesh is inundated throughout the year. You take Maldives, there are only a couple of islands. They don't have anything in those islands. Then you take Pakistan, I think most of the country is desert most. Then India still, although they have become about the fourth powerful country in the world, majority are still very poor people. The poverty line, and there are maybe about 70-80% people are still very poor. But we have a beautiful country. In this country, I have seen the beauty of this country during the war time. You are used to go in the helicopter once a week. I start from Yala, go to East, then come to Vaunia, then go to Jana, come back. About 6 hours I am roaming around the country in helicopter every Saturday. When you come in, you go in the helicopter fly at 5,000 feet. Then you see the beauty of this country. If you take a flight, you are flying at 30,000. You only see this country as a one green harbour town. When you fly at that height, you see the blue sea, ocean around the country. The beautiful beaches, the waves, then rivers, the waterfalls, then you see the jungles, then wildlife, then you see the paddy fields, you see the hills, mountains, you will see Putupalaga, Sigiri, all that, then you see Beragal, then this country is a beautiful country. But you go to the neighboring country, Maldives, what do you see? You will not see even a coconut tree. You will not see a single, not a river, not even a stream. You will not see a jungle life, not here maybe a cat. I don't know even a cat or dog is there, the country is too small for them to survive. So, but those countries have become very popular for the tourists. Because this country, we have not taken trouble to beautify this country. We have a place called Yala. It has 7 blocks, but we have been showing to tourists for the last 35 years, only 3 blocks. We have not been able to make Yala a tourist attraction so far. So likewise, the beautiful country, we have been just living on that without doing anything to protect this country and develop the country. Then remember, you are in an underdeveloped country. Even if you are rich in this country, even if you are super rich, there may be few gentlemen here super rich, some are rich, Colombo society mostly. Even if you are rich in this country, what do you have? Because this country is underdeveloped. You might have a good house in the Karapat Road, big house in Colombo, air conditioned. Then you will have a couple of vehicles, a BMW, a Mercedes, V8, all that. Then you will have a big bank account. But with all that, when you get out of your gate, you are stepping into a very underdeveloped poor country. When you are on the road, if you go to a park, there is no proper park for you to go and relax. If you want to go to cinema, there is no proper cinema for you to go. If you go to a school, the royalists and Soviets, they think the best schools in the world are here in this country. And yes, or things like that. But if you see the schools in those developed countries, you go to school, it is as good as going into a new city. All the facilities are there, children are comfortable, they are relaxed. But we don't have those things in this country. So people must know, even if you are rich in this country, you are living like a middle class person in a developed country. That is the difference. You are like a frog in the well. So ensure that you do something, you make some sacrifices, even a little bit, to ensure not only you become rich man, also to ensure that this country becomes a developed country. You have to make that sacrifice. Otherwise, this country, you will be here with a lot of money in the bank account, but your children will go abroad, they will never come back. That is the reality. Then you, all of you, if you are parents, or parents to hope, people hoping to be parents, you all want your children to start a life with certain level of high quality. Every parent thinks that their children have to live better than the way the parents are living. That your aspiration, your struggle is to bring a very good future for the children, to ensure that they live with a better quality, better life. But if that is aspiration, if this country is taken over by leaders who lack quality, who have not reached the higher standard of the higher quality of life, then they will never be able to give your children a good life. They will never be able to make your children live a quality life. So ensure that in future when you select the leaders, definitely look into the qualities of those people. Even if you become the number one in the country, number two, or cabinet minister, everybody, there must be the people who are quality people. Quality does not mean that only money in the account or having a rich life and having powerful company or private business. Personal quality is judged in various ways. You understand that. Then, this country, very unfortunately, is engulfed by a corrupt mafia. The country is devoured by a corrupt mafia network. In this country, every place where there is big money circulation is engulfed by this mafia. The mafia is internationalized. There are agents in this country. So people who aspire to become royal families and all that in the past, they are the agents of this mafia. And even in this country, the per capita income goes up, or maybe the GDP goes up, still that will not seep down to you and the normal public in this country. All that will be looted out by that mafia. That money, that wealth will never come to this country. You might go to bank accounts, overseas property and various things. But people will not enjoy that, the wealth, even if the country develops to a certain extent one day, unless we do away with this mafia. So this mafia, business is very dangerous, definitely. People must be determined to save this country from this corrupt mafia. Then, finally I am coming to talk about where we must go from here. There are various political events which will take place in the near future. So people in this country, they must not get played out anymore. We had a presidential election a couple of years ago. All the people in this country were played out. Even the youth, even the voting voters, everybody thought we want a Hitler for the country, or some people thought that we have a Jason Kumara in the country. They thought we have a Viruva in the country now. Finally, all of them were let down. Especially a message to the youth. Youth must know they need maturity. We also had our young days. At times you want to be emotional, everything, and you think you know everything. But the maturity has to come. Through the maturity you identify a lot of things and you select the correct path. So people in this country, this is my last advice for people in this country. They must think carefully, they must take future decisions very carefully and make sacrifices at the lower level level. If you see something wrong, when you know the politicians are messing up, don't stay at home thinking that others will do the needful. I can't go and waste my time and spend all that for unnecessary politics and negatives. At least you must have the courage to take a boat and go and stand on the road if the country is going the wrong direction. So that is what you are supposed to do. If we go through on this line, I am sure, identify the correct priorities, in a 2 or 3 years' time, you will start feeling the difference in this country. Everything will not fall in line, but definitely in 2 or 3 years' time, you start feeling the difference. And in about 5 to 7 years' time, I am sure we can complete all the required areas, cover required areas, put a solid foundation for the country. After that, we can start relaxing and concentrating on other areas. Up to that time, for the first few years, other areas will have to be kept for the recurrent, not for the capital expenditure. Thank you very much.